Everyone, it's James with geometricharts.com. This is September 19th. It is 6:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. And first of all, this is not investment advice. So basically, Bitcoin is working itself into a bear flag formation at this level. We had quite an erratic price move today. I mean, just whipping back and forth. And obviously, big money pushed that both down and up at the same time. The big question is does it hold? Or is this alluding to what's due to come in this market, which is another move back downward? Now, if Bitcoin cannot hold above about, let's say, the 6,200 area, which is just a simple uptrend line, right, forming out this bear flag. If it cannot hold above this area, then Bitcoin's going to have some problems, meaning we're going to dive deeper, and I definitely think we're going to retest and more than likely break that 5750 area. Now, if Bitcoin can get above about the 6,500 zone, we're going to start to try to work our way back up to relieve a lot of this selling pressure that we've seen in Bitcoin. So as of now, there is still more selling pressure than there is buying pressure, and you could see that as we started to near this downtrend line, right? So we didn't even make it to the downtrend line before running out of energy, and now we're already starting to see a dive deeper, right? So instead of popping up and starting the new candle up here, we're now starting it about midway, and if we start dropping back down and we cannot hold this uptrend line, then Bitcoin has some serious problems ahead in the short-term future. So we'll see what happens. Very, very erratic price movement, very low volume influx as well during that time. I think it was like overall a little more than, like, let's just call it maybe like 250, 300 million. Is what I saw change on the volume indicator that I use to track the daily volume for Bitcoin. So not much came into this market to really show that, hey, there's some big buyers stepping up here. They're ready to make this big dramatic stance in Bitcoin, that's it. This is the bottom. This thing is ready to take off. I have not seen anything like that in this market. Instead, every single time I see big volume, it's always to the downside. And that's why I talk about Bitcoin with a bearish, like, undertone, overtone, whatever you want to say. Like, that's why I do it, is because there's nothing that's really showing that, hey, the bottom is in, this thing is skyrocketing. Because every time everyone gets on the hype train, it ends up horribly every single time. So, you know, there's some room for Bitcoin to potentially work higher, but if it starts drifting back downward and we break this simple uptrend line, it's going to show yet once again a pump and a dump, and retail traders again are holding the bag, and big money's just fleecing the heck out of them like they've done time and time again. I mean, so many iterations of this that, you know, it's getting pretty ridiculous, but we'll find out soon enough. I think it's honestly going to take probably until next week or so to really see some dramatic changes in Bitcoin if it's able to hold this zone. So, you know, I do these videos 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If Bitcoin does not do much and it's just start kind of floundering around in this area, I think it's weak. I think it does have lower move, or has room to move lower. If it starts to hold up and break through this area, showing that, hey, like, buyers are in control of this market instead of sellers clearly dominating this market, then I do think we could start to see some pretty good runs in Bitcoin in the near future, possibly sometime in the next month, October, November area, to where we could possibly see the first break of a recent high, okay? Nothing to write home about, but it would be a step in the right direction if Bitcoin is able to hold and succeed at holding the 6,000 level, we'll call it, right? Obviously, there's a buffer zone, but in the bigger picture, if it's able to hold this zone, this would be a very positive sign for Bitcoin for forming that like rounded bottom, that return to normalization that you see in bottoms, right? This consolidation of energy. And if that happens, I would change my stance to a bullish perspective, but things really have to change, you know. And like I said, that could take until October, possibly somewhere, because October's only right here, and October's not that far away when you're looking at the 4-hour chart. So it's going to take some time for this really to unfold. And I know everyone is looking for this rapid price movement. I mean, obviously today was crazy, right? You have this wild, crazy swing in price, and Bitcoin does make quick, rapid movement. But what I am referring to is that move to 10,000, that move to 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, whatever other crazy numbers are out there. But again, right now, where Bitcoin is this energy is being consolidated and squished, and it's coiling and coiling, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And it's like one of those spring toys, right? It's like you're cranking that spring, cranking that spring, cranking that spring, and you know once you let it go, that thing's gonna snap back hard. And when it does, it's going to expend all that energy. And that's basically what this chart is showing us, that it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And once it does explode, it's going to make a massive move, okay? And if it starts to expend that energy, meaning we're breaking down, then obviously that's a very bad sign for this market and the market overall. And I've seen a lot of the alts break down, like Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum's like 200 now. It's crazy how low it's gotten. But anyways, we'll see what happens as this unfolds. But as of now, I'm still going to remain in the bear camp, right? Just call me James the Bear, and we'll see what happens. You know, if my mind changes, I'll let everyone know on YouTube. It's not investment advice, but you know, I try to talk about the bigger picture of what's going on in this market as best I can. And you know, I use this little number ticker to kind of show everybody the areas that it's kind of hovering around. You got the simple bear flag, very simplistic in nature, but if you are looking at the chart and you're reading the chart and you're seeing what's going on overall, and you look at Bitcoin's history with bear flags, it's never been a good sign for this market. So that is it for today. I'll do another video on Friday. But again, if you like the videos, you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, follow. I thank everybody for their time, everybody for their support. If there are things you do like, you don't like about the video, you can always comment below. If I do not get back to you, don't take it as a form of disrespect. I'm just extremely busy. But anyways, that's it for tonight. Everybody have a great night, great day, depending on where you are in the world.